How about a flaming cup of Liber-Tea? Today on How to Drink. I started playing Helldivers 2 because I'm always looking for new things to do on the show, because I have this show, and so I need things like Helldivers 2 to do drinks from. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I'm addicted to it. I stay up all night on my Steam Deck. After my wife falls asleep, I get under the covers and I play video games until much too late, which is not healthy. But yeah, I really like the game. And there's a thing, when you throw a hand grenade in it, you might say,
how about a nice cup of Liber-Tea?
So how do you make a cup of Liber-Tea now that the flames have gone out on this thing? You're gonna need to get a couple bottles of Coca Cola and cook them down. I started with 750 milliliters of Coca Cola, and I cooked it down to about 180 milliliters of Coca Cola. It is make a thick kind of Coca Cola molasses, a syrup, a tar. I call it Coke tar. Other than that, it's pretty standard stuff. 1 ounce of lime juice. Then you need 1 ounce of Overproof Rum. The Overproof Rum I happen to like for this is Hamilton 151 Demerara. Then you're gonna need 1/2 ounce of Mezcal. The Mezcal that I used is Mezcal Union Uno. Then you're gonna need 1/2 ounce of cinnamon whiskey. Just use Fireball. Why is there cinnamon whiskey in it, right? Because it's a thing that explodes. It's on fire. It's a bomb. Bada boom boom. Then you're gonna need 1 ounce of this Coke tar. Why Coke tar? You know, my theory here too is that like everything in this setting is like awful. It's recycled, it's garbage, it's imitation, it's shitty. So like forget Coca-Cola, forget even Coke syrup. We're gonna reduce Coca-Cola down to Coke tar. I like it. To garnish this, you're gonna wanna go to a party store and get yourself some cake sparklers. This little guy doesn't spit out too much smoke and the sparks don't go too very far. The main thing is you gotta have the sparks. I'm gonna take a cable tie. So how to drink first. Will my smoke detector go off? Who knows? Oh, they last for a while. Okay, thank you. That's enough of that. Thank you very much. So here's my cup of Liber-Tea. That makes me, ooh, oh, whoa, that's awesome. I love that. This is neat. So there is a, like a tanginess that it starts out as, metallic kind of a tang. And that turns into, it's moderated and enhanced by the lime juice. Loving that. It has like a molassesy vibe to it. I love it. It really sticks down in here. It's actually really well balanced. It is just the right amount of tanginess, funkiness, and then you get, it's a late note. I'm just sorry, I'm off track because it just showed up. The Mezcal is so balanced in here right now because otherwise it could overpower. And it shows up, yeah, you know, later on, after you kind of walked away from it for a second there, and it's like, hello, a little smoke. And it actually shows up just after the cinnamon does, really, which is kind of cool. There's cinnamon Coca-Cola, there's cinnamon whiskey here. They kind of work together. Now I'm getting some Band-Aid notes. This is like a gift that keeps on giving. I know if you're not into, like, and I'm not always, but like if you're not into Mezcals and Ryla whiskeys, you'd be like, Band-Aid, what the fuck? Nah, it's like a desirable thing. It's a dark flavor. It's got these metallic notes. It is smoky. I couldn't be happier. This is so perfect. What was that? There was like a new note in there. It was just a different expression. The Mezcal and the rum really clung to each other on that sip and turned into something totally different. Man, what a cool, this is actually good. So this is kind of a stunt drink. Make stuff like this because it looks cool on camera. And also they have to taste good and they have to be fitting in the world. You know, maybe you make them once or whatever. But if you're interested in mixology, you should get yourself some Coca Cola and cook it down and try this because this is awesome. So cool. We're gonna move on now. There are other references for drinks in the game. I had a whole different version of this episode I was planning that had things like bug juice, and I think we had a S.E.A.F.Artillery, which is gonna be like a riff on a French 71, French 71? French 76? What the fuck's wrong with my brain? French 75. Numbers, what are they about? And then I went and played the game again, and I started noticing things. There's vending machines in it, okay? And I found a bunch of vending machines, and you know what? They got names. They are the Taste of Democracy, the #1 soft drink in the galaxy. It leads in all the flavor polls. We'll come back to that in a moment. Taste of Freedom vending machine that has 4 drinks in it. Dr. Democracy, Mr. Taste, Professor Delicious, and Yum Esquire. And I really was like, which ones of those are gonna make? And then I realized, wait a minute, every single one of these is a Dr. Pepper ripoff. I just did an episode with a Dr. Pepper riff, the Coca Colas. I'm not gonna do it again, so that one's not coming up in the episode. So let's make Democracy Drafts premium light beer, not suitable for traders to democracy. What would that be? Well, again, I think that everything in this setting is recycled nightmare fuel. Kind of like in Warhammer 40,000, where people eat corpse starch, like recycled corpses and stuff like that. What I want to make here is like synthetic beer, something that isn't beer, but that is beerish.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled freedom with this message.
So Rocket Money reached out and asked if I'd check out their app, and I did, and I actually loved it. So now they are the sponsor of this episode. Thank you, Rocket Money. One of the things I loved so much about it was how quickly it found a whole bunch of subscriptions that I had completely forgotten existed. I guess I must have signed up at some point. Kind of embarrassing how much of a disaster I am on that front, but you got to accept who you are. It seems to be a universal issue because it's a major feature of Rocket Money that a lot of people seem to enjoy. I am prepared to accept my shortcomings, and I'm glad that I've got Rocket Money to cover my blind spots.
They can even cancel subscriptions with just a couple of taps from inside the app.
I didn't need to chase down customer support or click through deceptive links or anything like that to get unsubscribed to a bunch of stuff. And while that is my favorite feature so far, it's also just one part of a full suite budgeting app that can analyze my spending habits and help me make better choices. So here's the deal. Rocket Money has helped save its customers an average of $720 a year, and so far they've canceled over $500 million in unwanted subscriptions. To save more and spend less, join the over 5 million members using Rocket Money today by going to rocketmoney.com/howtodrink. You can click the link below or up here in the corner to get started for free, and that's rocketmoney.com/howtodrink and get started for free. So thank you again to Rocket Money for sponsoring this episode, and now on with the show.
I lucked out because I just had to order a kegerator for another episode that I'm working on. Big episode. I can't wait to make this episode, but I needed a kegerator for it, weirdly. Anyway, I got this kegerator. I bought it from cornykegs.com. David is a super cool guy. Check out his website for all of your kegging and brewing needs, I think. And he sent me a bunch of freebies with it. These are little hops extracts that you can add to things. He gave me a whole safety sheet, but the joke's on him because I can't read. We're gonna use hop soil to make a fake beer. What do we need it to be? We need to have some alcohol in it. We need the hops, and it's gotta be malty. I got a solution for that. Malta Goya. And I haven't made this yet. I'm gonna start with 2 ounces of vodka. I'm gonna pour in this bottle of Malta Goya. That's 7. I'm gonna do some more. I want this to be about a 12 ouncer. I don't know if you've ever had this, but this smells like chocolate beer. It's not gonna be a light beer. I may have fucked up. My guy Dave over there at Corny Kegs gave me a whole lot of different hop soils, and I have options. So let's see here. We got Ambrosia, Twisted Fruit Bomb, Amarilla, Dank, and Stormy. Juicy Fruit Bomb, Azeka. Well, I kind of just like the sound of Dank and Stormy. Let's go with that. It does mention a thing called a toothpick test, where you literally dip a toothpick in here and then kind of swish that around in a glass. I think that the same thing would be to literally, no drop, but just this glass tube that's sitting in there, just touch. Just touch, that's what I think. Oh, and you can just see it like kind of across the surface. Bar spoon? Wow, I don't have a bar spoon? Man, that's groovy. Well, I have a lele stick, we'll use that. Yeah, that does the trick, sure. Look at the head on that sucker, huh? That looks like a nice stout. That works really well. That tastes like a sweet kind of stouty beer. I think we can get away with just a little touch more. Here, I'm going to, instead, I'm not gonna use a drop. We know that's risky. Risky behavior. We're just gonna do a little poke and like a bubble of it. There we go. This is perfect. I could not be happier. This is beer-like. For imitation beer, I don't think I could have nailed it any harder. There's an argument that maybe like I should just maybe do 1 malt and then seltzer for the rest, and I'm gonna do exactly that. I'm gonna drink it halfway down and top it with seltzer because it's a little thick. It's not a light. You know what? Maybe this isn't the light. This is Democracy Drafts. Democracy Drafts Light, which is what's in the vending machine. We'll get to that when we add some seltzer. But it's a heady, thick and creamy kind of stout. Apparently it's alcoholic. It's probably about 3 to 5%. I did this math a while ago. It might be 5% actually, which is right where you want it to be. A little bit of bite of the hops. I've had way hoppier beers than this. I think probably I could add like another scoop, so to speak, and it'd be fine. Maybe even a lot more than that, honestly. I'm not sure. I'm just being a little careful here. But yeah, like you get this nasal bite, that bitterness, you know, the things that you get in a hoppy beer. It's not like a crazy IPA or anything like that, but it's not far off from a Guinness. Let's see what it would be like if we thin it out just a little bit. This is my Comos keg. Let's see how that is. A little thinned out. Yeah, that's a light beer. I still think we could put a little more hops in there. Yeah, Dank and Stormy. Oh, that's probably why it's called Dank and Stormy. All right, there we go. That's it, man. It's so good. Wow, now I'm kind of wondering what like hopped Coca Cola would taste like. I bet that'd be really cool. It's like a chocolate stout, honestly. I know it's not, like a real good stout is gonna have a lot more going on here character-wise, but like, if I said to you, here is imitation beer, you'd be like, yeah, that's imitation beer. Oh, I guess order some hops oil from Corny Kegs. I wanna point out too, not a sponsor, not a sponsor. I paid for this stuff, I paid for all of this. He's just a very nice guy. I don't want you to think I'm getting a lot of free stuff from him. We've had a cup of Liber-Tea and our democracy drafts. Now I've gotta have Taste of Democracy, the #1 soft drink in the galaxy. And I didn't know what that should be. I thought about it. I was like, well, Coca Cola is probably the most popular soft drink. But then it hit me. It's leading in all the flavor polls. So I checked, what's the most popular flavor? Well, you know what? It turns out it's vanilla. So vanilla is the world's most popular flavor. According to Data Central, 81% of consumers love or like vanilla, and 94% have tried it. Consumer affinity for the spice remains so great that it's estimated that there are at least 18,000 products on the market today that contain vanilla flavor. There you have it, folks, straight from the horse's mouth. Everyone loves vanilla. So what do I do with that? A vanilla beverage? Yeah, why not? Because cream soda is vanilla. So I'm gonna make cream soda. Kind of. I'm gonna make a crummy cream soda here though. You know why? Because if you check out Darcy O'Neill's channel, he will teach you how to make a very good cream soda, and it involves a lot of ingredients I don't have on hand. It's not the only reason. One is because like that's his version, you should go check him out. Two is because this is Super Earth. We don't do things right here, okay? But this will be good. I've made this before, this is fine. His is just like fucking in the stratosphere, it's way better. So how do you make cream soda? You need to make vanilla syrup. How do you make vanilla syrup? Well, there's the smart way and the stupid way. And the stupid way is to use a vanilla bean. Because if you put a vanilla bean into simple syrup or sugar, you will wait a very long time for it to start to taste like vanilla. I mean like an insane amount of time. So I'm just gonna use a couple of extracts here. We're gonna use a regular plain old vanilla extract, and I'm gonna use a little bit of their lemon extract. Totally unnecessary, I think, in my opinion, because like, you probably won't know the difference, but a little bit of brightness in there. I'm gonna go, like, for 250, I'm gonna go with 1 milliliter. And if that's not really enough, then I'll add 1 more, but like 1 mil is a lot. It's a lot. I mean, like the whole room reeks of vanilla now. It smells like I was about to say something locker room-ish, never mind. So I'm gonna add like 2 itty bitty drops of this lemon, like even that's maybe too much. Stick a cork in it, shake it up. Let's see how this is, if this is vanilla enough. I think so. Yeah, and the lemon adds a little in there. A lot of people say, Greg, you don't do enough non-alcoholic stuff on the show. I've tried. You don't watch it. All right, let's literally just put some seltzer into this thing. Oh, is that dry? Oh, no way. I drank all of that? You bastard. Oh no! How'd I do that? All right, so because my keg full of seltzer is empty, because I drink seltzer like a fiend, I'm gonna make it with my drink mate, which I love, by the way. I love this drink mate. It's just that now that I have a kegerator and a show that uses a lot of seltzer and also a body that craves seltzer like water, which it is, I like that a lot. Having seltzer on tap is perhaps the greatest luxury I have yet acquired. Even though it's not really, I mean, it's a tap, but it's not like on demand. Like I have to make it in kegs. Anyway, it's a cool device. Usually soft drinks are a 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 ratio for the syrup, so it kind of depends on how sweet your syrup is and how sweet you want your final product to be. By the way, I do want to point out that Whiskey is my official glassware provider, and if you need beautiful glassware for your home bar or just for your home in general, you can use the link in the pin comment below or up here in the corner. You will get 15% off of your entire order at Whiskey. So thank you, Whiskey, for the beautiful glasses. Here we go. This is, I think, the cheapest way to make a soft drink for the galaxy. The Taste of Democracy, #1 soft drink in the galaxy, leading in all the flavor polls. I am contractually obliged to say that. And it's delicious. That little drop of lemon really goes a long way to brighten this thing up. It tastes like cream soda. And one thing I like in my Taste of Democracy, the #1 soft drink in the galaxy that leads all the flavor polls, is a dash or two of Angostura bitters. Old Super Earth Angostura bitters. That's right. They remind us of the bitter price we pay to spread managed democracy to the far reaches of the galaxy. But yeah, also tastes good. I was a little fizzy on the way down. It's like swallowing a golf ball. It's fantastic. I mean, it's really delicious. It's very unobjectionable. If anything, it's maybe a little too sweet. You could thin it out with some more seltzer. So basically, it tastes like cream soda with Angostura bitters in it, which is like cream soda with cinnamon and allspice and maybe even a drop of clove. And what is in that? There's something else in there that I'm picking up on with this. It's funny, when you combine flavors, you get different things. Like different sympathetic things, not the two things separately, but the new thing in between them. There's something green in there. I think there's a cocktail that people make with the Taste of Democracy. #1 soft drink in the galaxy. If you were to use this to make that artillery drink, it's like S.E.A.F.Artillery, Super Earth something artillery. If that was a drink that was based on the #1 soft drink in the galaxy, what would it taste like? What would be in it? Does Super Earth have gin? I think no. I think Super Earth has vodka and stronger vodka, also known as Everclear. All right, so I grabbed some stuff. One, I think you drink this out of a mason jar or an old tin can. So even though I'm gonna make this with Everclear, that doesn't mean I'm gonna make it ridiculous. I'm using the Everclear for thematic reasons. Everclear is just double the proof of, I mean, it's just 200 proof is like the way to think of it, right? Or near enough. It's pure ethanol, so if you use 1 ounce instead of 2, it's the same as using 2 ounces of 100 proof vodka. That's it. As long as you mix it properly, right? You're not supposed to drink it, and you shouldn't. It's not for that, it's gross. So let's start with that. 1 ounce of Everclear. 2 ounces of Taste of Democracy syrup. Normally you would make this drink with a bottle of Taste of Democracy, but since we have the syrup, we're gonna do it that way. If I said 2 ounces, I was lying. I meant 1.5 ounces. There's a little lemon juice here. Where do they get it from in outer space? I don't know. Actually, no, we're not gonna use any lemon juice. I just realized, thematically, that's wrong. We're gonna use this. This is ginger extract, also courtesy of Darcy O'Neill. Thank you, Darcy. This stuff is awesome. We're gonna use 2 drops of ginger extract. This is super duper hot. 1, 2, that doesn't feel like enough. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There you go. I made it for the Coca Cola episode that so few of you watched, so go check that one out. Oh, don't even bother. That's the weirdest thing. That's the only episode on how to drink history that's ever been demonetized. Watch it or not. I mean, I would hope that you do, but I don't give a shit. I think we just need seltzer now. I think this is it. I think that bitters and extracts you could get anywhere in Super, well, not anywhere, but you could probably get. Fresh fruit, I don't know about that. Super Earth Armed Forces Artillery, that's it. It doesn't have numbers on it. It looks like a 16-inch gun, which I did calculate. It's like a 406 millimeter or something like that. That's good. That's a cacophony of flavors in there. It's like sweet and lemony. I want some more ginger out of it, actually. I want it to be a little hotter and fierier. I'm gonna put some more of that in there. And by the way, you should make this stuff. This is awesome stuff. You can make the best ginger syrup with this, and a lot of it. It grabs you by the throat and wakes you up. It's got that throat heat in it. It is sweet, like disgustingly sweet. Not disgustingly disgusting. It's soft drink sweet, which, you know, that feels right to me. That feels appropriate. I think that, honestly, hardened though they may be, I assume that Helldivers are clones nonetheless, but basically baby brains. like young smooth-brained, dumb boys that they shoot out of space to kill each other. The easily propagandized, if you will. So, yeah, it should, to me, taste like pretty immature. And the vanilla is nice, it's sweet, it's a cream soda, but with like kick, and a little bit of that lemon. The lemon, actually, that lemon extract comes out a little bit louder. I want to do it just a little bit more of this stuff, and actually maybe even quite a bit more. Let's do like half a mil. Watch, I just turned it into like something insane by doing that, just like ridiculously hot and fiery. There we go again. Woo! That'll put hair on your chest. Yowza! That feels appropriate. So this has been Helldivers 2, a cocktail story. I don't know. We made Liber-Tea, we made Democracy Drafts, we made Taste of Democracy or Taste of Freedom. I forget which one this one was. There was one of them we didn't do. And also an S.E.A.F.Artillery, which I didn't plan to do, but it kind of came together, and it's quite tasty. It's very good for smooth-brained hell-diving soldiers. Until then, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, tip your waiter, check out my Patreon is what that kind of means. And here are 4 more things to click on for managed democracy.